good mood today? I'm in a great mood. I always get in a really good mood when I'm going to start to draw. You're fueled up, right? We're going to blast across this piece of paper. We're going to command this piece of paper and draw three-dimensional drawings. Now, the 7 magic words are surface, size, contour, shading, density, overlapping, and foreshortening. And today, we're going to talk again about surface, making the near objects lower in the paper so they look closer to you. Now, let's start right here in the middle by drawing a line in direction 1. Right up in direction 1. Okay, now turn the corner, go up in direction 7. You ready? Just zoom that line off into the distance. Draw that middle line a little bit lower, the vertical line, and using surface, and look at this. The near part of this corner is lower in the paper, and it gets higher up as it moves away from your eye. Okay, slant this up into this way, in this direction, direction 7. Now we'll draw a column coming down, then we'll draw a base to this building right here. This is like the cornerstone of a building. We'll extend this middle line down, draw a light guideline, almost like a dotted line up toward direction 1. Draw another vertical line right here, and we'll draw a guideline going up in direction 7. Another vertical line right here. We're going to draw a whole row of square columns going back into the distance over here, and then a row of round columns going off into the distance over here, using surface, making the near column lower in the paper so it looks closer to you, and the round column lower in the paper so it looks closer to you too. Direction 7, direction 1. Now, see this guideline? That follows direction 1, doesn't it? See, it goes up. Well, we'll make these round columns. We'll make a vertical line coming down. Nice dark lines. Now look at this curve at the bottom. This is a good shading exercise too, trying to decide if you shade the round column the same way as you shade the square column. Now you know the answer to that, right? You have different shading on the round and different shading on the square. The square column is shaded with solid shading. Okay, see how they're getting smaller? See, they're getting higher up on the paper using surface. The near corners lower, and they get higher and higher up, and they're following that guideline we drew before. See that guideline, that light line we drew? I'll even draw it darker so you can see it even better. Just column after column, curve the end right here. Now let's draw square columns going off into the distance to the left. A vertical line right here. Direction what? What direction is that? Direction 1. And you can barely see this back side. Direction 7, a vertical line. And there you have a nice post or a nice square column. This almost looks like one of those Roman buildings that they had in Rome, huh? With those really big column buildings, real powerful. Vertical line here. Direction 1, direction 7, another vertical line. And let's do another vertical line right here. Okay, now, put a dot below the middle. This looks like a corner of a secret city building, doesn't it? You can add this idea to your secret city. It really help. I think your eye likes that repetition, doesn't it? It likes that design and style of a repeated pattern going on. A vertical line, and curve the bottom. And then make this go off into the distance, right off the paper. Vertical line right here. Let's make this bottom really thick. A real thick stone right here. Does that look interesting enough for you? Is that intricate enough? You want to add more to it? Okay, we'll make the columns or the posts sticking up through the top of the building. That sounds fun? Okay, well, let's put this right through the top. Put a dot right here, direction 1, direction 7, and let's extend this column right up through this top, the ceiling right here, onto the roof. All along here. Okay, look at foreshortened square right here. A guideline for the top of the foreshortened circles. Extend this line, curve the bottom, and then a nice foreshortened circle. You see how that column just pops right up through the top of that? Pretty interesting, huh? And then we'll extend this line. Remember, using surface a lot. This near top of the column is lower in the paper than this round column that's further in the distance. And they get smaller, of course, because of the magic word size. They're nice and foreshortened because of that magic word foreshortening. And eventually we're going to add shading here. See how they're getting smaller and smaller as they get into the distance? Even they get lighter and lighter and less distinct because of that word density. You know all those words really well, don't you? Another vertical line right there. Now, columns are really important parts of the architecture in my cities and in also lots of cities. Now, take a look at this artist's view of Manchester. you a few more ideas for your drawings. Huh? See, all these art paintings and sculptures that you find in museums give you lots and lots of ideas, tons of ideas for your own drawings. They give me lots of ideas, too. I'm going to extend all my posts going up and continue the foreshortened squares. See, I'm even have a guideline from this foreshortened square to make sure I keep them all nice and foreshortened. I'm using surface a lot because the near tops of the columns are lower in the paper in the far part. Now, I'll use my shading pencil. In fact, I'll even use a color to shade. I'll use my blue here, nice and dark on the left side of each of these columns. On the left side here, the left side here, left side here. Now watch this. I use a darker color to emphasize the darkness underneath this ledge right here, and I blend it down. Isn't that an interesting effect? You can even do this with your pencil. You can make it nice and dark underneath the ledge right here and blend it down. See, it's nice and dark because it really hardly gets any sunlight underneath that ledge. Dark underneath here, and it's dark underneath here again. And then this one, of course, back here gets hazier as it goes further back into the background. And then we'll draw the round columns with a different color. We'll give the other side of these just a light blue with a quick finger tone right there, so you can just touch it with your finger and have some tone to it. And a light green for these columns. I'll use my finger to blend across. Remember, blended shading on round objects, solid shading on square objects, because the sun can't sneak around this corner, but the sun does sneak around these round columns. So it makes it a little more interesting. It starts at one side and it blends over to the other side, the opposite side of where the sun's hitting it. Now remember, anyone can learn how to draw, right? Are you teaching your brothers and your sisters and your friends how to draw? You can teach your friends and they can learn how to draw, and they'll teach their friends, and pretty soon everyone in the whole universe will know how to draw, right? See, drawing's fun, and everybody should know how to draw. It's really important to understand how to control that, how to conquer that piece of paper. And I hope you're showing your friends and your brother and sister how to draw. And even your mom and dad, maybe even your cat and dog, huh? No, I'm joking. Usually cats and dogs don't draw, except for here in the secret city. Blend it across, dark to light, all the way across, even on this one back here. And I'll add a tone to the whole left side here, and the whole left side here. And that finishes my columned building. Draw, draw, draw. Practice your drawing 20 or 30 minutes a day. Teach everyone you know how to draw. And the important super magic word to remember today is surface. Oh.